Welcome again to another edition of Wildcatters TV with the Catfish dude, Steve Douglas.
We'll let it hit bottom and just let some line out, and we want the baits about 200 feet behind us as we're just kind of dragging up the lake. With dragging baits on the bottom, you're always going to get hung up. So I'm going to show you how I rig what I call a modified Santee Cooper rig. Now, a Santee Cooper rig is a rig that was made back in the heyday of Santee Cooper, South Carolina. They've still got some real nice fish out there, but they used to, Santee Cooper's known for big fish, and I guess some fishermen come up with this rig back in the day, but it's primarily just a dragging rig. But I'm going to show you how I tie my dragging rig, or Santee Cooper rig, whatever you want to call it. Mine's not going to be the original. It's just going to be a shortcut type of rig, but it's still going to get the job done. I think a Santee Cooper's a little bit more complex than what I'm going to do, but it's going to be on the same concept. First thing I'm going to do is tie a heavy-duty swivel on with a polymer knot onto my main line. All right, the next thing I'm going to use is my 50-pound mono, and we're going to put a clinch knot on this one. You can put any knot you want. Knot really don't matter, I don't believe. As long as it's secure and you've got confidence in it, it's going to work in this application. All right, and that's about a 4-foot piece of leader. Let me get boat control here, guys. Okay. Now we're going to take I use a mustad circle hook. This is a fine wire number 10 Demon Circle. And I'm going to snell this bad boy. Now, what's going to make this part of a Santee Cooper rig is the float. The Santee Cooper is known for these floats. Does it hold the bait up off the bottom? No, I don't think so, because the bait I'm using is very heavy anyway. But what I think it does do is maybe keep this up a little bit farther as it goes over obstacles, and maybe keep it from hanging up some. I don't know. I really don't know. But we put them on there sometimes. Sometimes we don't. And now we're gonna offset that hook just a little bit. That's not quite enough. There we go. Now, the next thing we want to do is put on our weights. Now this is where I get different than the Santee Cooper rig. Most of the Santee Cooper rigs use a 3-way. But I'm going to attach this directly to my swivel, and that's where my weight will also be, on the swivel instead of a 3-way. This may be a lazy man way of doing a Santee Cooper. I don't know. It's just my way. Now that's attached to the swivel. And now we've got our weights. Now the thing is, my other boat has all my weights in it, but I do have some small bumping weights I've been using. So normally we'd have one weight on it, a slinky weight or some type of thin weight. But today I'm pulling a MacGyver, and I'm going to double up on what I've got and call it a day. The wind's blowing pretty good, and we got to put weight according to how the wind is blowing. If we're wanting to drag and the wind is real light, we could probably get away with 2 or 3 ounces. But when the wind's as tough as it is today, I'm going to put another 3 ounces on it to make a 6. And that's going to keep the bait down there where we want it and dragging on the bottom. Because if your boat is going too fast while you're dragging with a 2 ounce weight or a 3 ounce weight, what happens is the weight just starts coming up in the water column. Well, we don't want that. We want our target area is dead bottom on the catch these catfish. So we want to make sure that our weight is always on the bottom, no matter what speed we're going to go. And like I said, we may go a mile an hour today, but I want to kind of keep it at 0.5, 0.6. But there it is, guys. That's a modified Santee Cooper rig, or just what I call a dragon rig. Now, I think the original Santee Cooper rig would have a 3-way here and a drop line to the sinkers down below, but I think I'm gonna call this the Lazy Man. I won't put it on a 3-way on it and an extra leader and all that. All right, guys, that is my version of the Santee Cooper rig. We're gonna drag these on these deep flats and hopefully nail some big fish.
We'd like to thank our sponsors, XL Boats, Monster Rod Holders. Monster Rod Holders are monster strong. Tangling with Catfish Rods. Mustad Hooks, the best-selling hook on the planet. And Fat Boy Custom Rods.